Good morning. Oh my gosh, it's Monday. We're kicking off the week. This is so important. It's such a strong, strong day to kick your week off with. Come in with a good attitude, a good cup of coffee or tea, and kick your day off and your week off strong. And yeah, cheers, Jen Weatherly.
Cheers.
Cheers. I know. How are you, friend?
I'm doing really good today. How are you?
I'm great. I'm really, really great. It's been a really cool. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Awesome, because the screen was doing the same thing it was doing on my interview on Friday. It was like shaking, and I'm like, oh, she can't hear me.
No, yeah, no, we're good. Definitely can hear you. I know that was I don't know if anyone else saw that interview. It was like the guest was amazing at just picking it up and just running with it. But, sometimes tech goes funny and you have to be able to roll with it.
Yeah, that was Delilah Cordova, and not only does she use this platform all the time, so she's super familiar with Be Live TV, and she interviews people all the time. So she's like me. She just like flew with it, and she's like, I'm just gonna take over Erin's show.
Yeah, it's just like priceless information too. And I really loved what she was saying. And actually, I'm going to share this out to my feed because
Yeah.
I'm going to grab that. Sorry, excuse me, everyone. Just gonna,
Yeah. So this is a Monday morning show, everybody. And this is where we talk about what's important, what's not. We talk about balance. We talk about commitments. We talk about commitments to ourselves, to our family, to our business. We talk about showing up strong and what that looks like. We talk about all kinds of businesses supporting each other. Like we were just like totally all into Delilah that was on my show last week. And yeah, we can talk about her a little bit more today too. And forming those connections, right? And that collaboration and meeting those people we were just like that are actually going to help us continue to grow strong as a collective. And it's just really, really cool to meet people. But this is the Monday morning show with Jen and Erin. That's us. And if you guys are watching from any other platform other than the illustrious ones, come on over here. I loaded it up for the Erin Strayer show. Did you see that? That was
yeah.
awesome. Oh my gosh, like total branding. Like, hey, we're all human people. I
That's,
did it wrong today.
that's okay. Actually, I was thinking, I was like, I've never interviewed Erin. And, I don't really interview people very often, but I was like, I should probably do that. I should probably find out what is Erin all about? What is new in Erin's world? Please do tell, spill.
I know. Well, you keep talking there, and I'm going to share this out with our people too, and
Okay.
and see if we can get some fun people on the line with us
Yeah.
today. And
You know what? Actually, I had this kind of thing happen to me this morning. And as some of you may know, I had to take a big step back during the summertime because I was so incredibly exhausted. And so I just had to like pull back out of everything, including my meditation routine. And that was kind of a staple. Like that was like taking away like your main dietary source. Like I just took away my cashew milk in the morning, and like that's kind
it's
of
so
like
sad.
I know, right? Like you have your almond milk, and I don't care what it is as long as it's not regular milk or soy milk. But
Mm.
those were staples, and it's just like yeah, when I had to kind of just step away from meditation, I was just like kind of hurt, right? But this morning, I flipped it all back on, and I knew I was safe. I felt really just protected and guarded, and I was able to just kind of go in and clean house, refresh my energy, pull in the right stuff that I knew what it was, and go and get a little bit of healings from some elementals that came in and kind of woke me back up again. And I was just like, oh, it's so good to see you guys.
It's like a party.
Yeah, I did. I had a little party with my friends this morning, and I just haven't seen them in so long. And it might sound a little bit ridiculous, but that's my world. And I draw so much inspiration from being able to have these connections and interactions with, I don't know, lots of different things, lots of different kinds of otherworldly, mostly water and earth. But sometimes it's elementals and sometimes it's angels. And it's just been a long time. So I kind of feel like I'm back. Can I say that? I'm back.
Well, I think it's it's so important because I think so many of us have our routines, whatever that looks like to us. I know that meditation is a huge part of my morning routine, my day. But I too, I was like you. I took a huge step back for the summer. I backed out of a lot of things over the summer, and I too, I have left that to the wayside, and it's like something's missing out of your world.
Yeah.
Like something's just out of, like, just wonky, like when you finish your puzzle but there's two holes left and only one piece.
Yeah, it's not that complete picture at all. So yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah. And even though it's like my home life is going pretty smooth and comfortable, and opportunities are coming in, it still feels like something's missing. And congratulations for finding the time to pop that back into your routine and to say hello to your friends again.
Yeah. And it's funny too because I can still manifest like crazy because I do know what I want. I'm really clear on that. But that's just there's just the self love and the self care have to evolve. When it's time, right? So I still
Yeah.
have my essential oils that I take part in, and just some prayers. But this was different. So yeah, I'm just happy to have that kind of thing back in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys that are watching with us or watching the replay with us, let us know that you're here. But if there's something that used to be part of your routine or part of your life, it doesn't have to be huge. It's something small, but it's big to you. Um, you know, Go find it, right?
Mm.
Like, go find it again. Figure out a way to get it back into your routine and into your life, because clearly, your cells miss it and then are just so happy when you're like, get it back into the groove.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like you have this like I don't know this little secret, right? Like it's your own thing, right? And it's so fun to share that just with yourself. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just deeper connections, and that's so amazing.
Well, and I think we show up stronger in our life, every single part of our life, when we honor those things that mean something to us, right? Like those pieces of our personal puzzle that mean something to us.
Yes, yes.
And pieces aren't forgotten, and oh, you're not important enough, and the wayward ones, the ones that fell off the table and are under the table.
Yeah, you know what? Those are really valuable because life gets really boring if you're not engaging with those pieces, and often they're part of your child self, right? So it's
Yeah.
creativity or things that are really fun or whatever it is that lights you up. So yeah, however you come back to that, whether it's just walking through the forest, if that really works. I love it. I spent the whole weekend outside my garden and I was just so happy, like making stuff. So good.
Well, you spent. I'm so jealous because it's been a couple weeks since I've been up in my woods, and yeah, fall for us. I love the fall. Are your leaves like falling off?
They're all off. We had a big bad storm blow through. Everything's off the trees. But then, I'm kind of one of those. I'm the weird lady on the block. Like I have these like creepy little rats that I put at the end for Halloween, and there's like a murder of crows on my lawn. But it's funny to me because I know it creeps people out. They're like, "Oh God, that's weird." And then there's pumpkins up and down my driveway, but the whole time I'm just laughing inside because I know that it really weirds people out.
Well, that's so cool. I know around us there's kind of like the neighborhood competition to who can have the most decorated yard and the most gory yard, and we live in this little itty bitty town with two stoplights, right? Like it's a mile long between the stoplights, and that's my town,
Okay.
right? Like I never can remember if there's more bars or more churches here. I can't ever remember. But
Isn't that funny?
but like our little community has these competitions both at Halloween and then at Christmas and then again at Easter for your yard. And I'm like, I'm the weird one out. I don't put lights up. I don't even have a pumpkin out. I don't have
That's okay. You know what? My little kids, they're just like, Mom, make the house scary. And yeah, so yeah,
That's fun.
it's young. You kind of have to play, go and have some fun, and make them afraid. Like my 3-year-old will run around like yelling and being scared over nothing, and it's just ridiculously funny. So
Yeah, he had his costume on the other day.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a dragon.
Dragon, of course he is. Of course he is. We Hudson, is almost 13, but one year he was a dragon and he had this great big stuffed tail, and it caught on fire in somebody's like chimney that was burning in their driveway. They're handing him a cupcake and they're like, "Buddy, your tail's on fire." And I'm like, "Hey, it's just a dragon, man. He's fire's just coming out the wrong end."
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's funny. I remember he had a singed tail and he took off running because it was scary and he dropped his cupcake and it was a big deal. We had to go back and get another cupcake after his tail was put out. Yeah, it was, I know. The stories of being a mom, trick or treating.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so cute though, right? Like, oh, the everyday cuteness. I just can't get over it.
So, what'd you create in your yard? What'd you do outside
Oh,
in your garden?
okay, like forever. I've just been waiting to. I used to live in Prairie Town, small town, like just like what you were talking about. And lots of people, they would just throw stuff away, or they're just trying to give it away. But like old big bread bowls, like they used to rise dough in big bread bowls. And so, and they're all metal and stuff, like we're talking from the 1900s. So I have lots of stuff like that and big copper barrels, but I drilled a bunch of holes in the bottom of them and filled them up with dirt and put a bunch of tulips in them. And so I was planting like my garden for next spring. And I put in a bunch of seeds, but it's a butterfly garden.
Oh, cool.
And I'm bringing back nature. And I have a bunch of wildflower seeds. Lupins are what grow here. So I'm going to fill my ditch with them. And my neighbors don't have that. They like mow the ditches. It's all like perfect. And I hate perfect. So I like littered seeds everywhere. And it's just going to start growing up. And it's just going to be one of those yards that's there was thought put behind it, but it'll look a little bit wild. And I love that.
We call those English gardens here.
Oh, I love a wild. Come on, they're so much fun.
Well, and they're so pretty too, right? Because they're they're the natural flowers and they're not the perfect ones that are grown in greenhouses and harvested to be sold in flower shops, right? Like they're so pretty and they're irregular, but they're stunning and they smell so much better. And like I love it. Yeah. And plus it brings all the butterflies and all the dragonflies and all the bumblebees and all the nature back in because they
Yeah.
have something to feed them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So.
So cool. So cool. So I had a really cool thing. I had a super, super busy week, super busy weekend. I had 2 events Saturday, speaking events that I was at. So I had a crazy busy day Saturday. But this morning, I got up to my office to set the show up. And there's a message and when people send you messages over Facebook Messenger and it goes into that weird little queue because you're not connected, you're not friends yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like, most of the time those are just weirdos reaching out to me and either here buy my stuff. You don't know me yet, so here buy my stuff, or they're weirdo guys, right? Like, and they just want to connect with you. Your smile looks great. Kind of guys. But I'm like, gosh, I'm gonna open this and just see what it is. So no joke, it was a lady that she reached out to me. She's like, I don't know if you remember me or not, but I gave you a pedicure at a salon in a mall 15 years ago.
No way.
15 years ago. She said, and she goes, you touched my heart and challenged my thinking. And I've grown so much since then. And I want to say thank you.
Oh, boom. Hey.
Powerful. I'm like, who remembers somebody that sat in their pedicure chair 15 years ago? And what did I say to her?
Well, just the memorable ones, right? I mean, you obviously said something powerful. That's wow.
But it just made me think, like, I'm still digesting it because it hasn't even been an hour since I read it, right? Like, seriously, it hasn't even been an hour since I read that message. And I'm like, oh my gosh, just think about all the people, the different interactions, the different, the different people that cross our paths that we don't know that we are changing their lives
Yeah.
in that moment, right? Like, we don't know that whatever we're doing or whatever we're showing up as or however we're being in the world is life changing for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, taking that a step farther, and like all of our people in the collective are all about this, right? All of these life changing moments, and that's what they are. They're just moments. It's like blink and it's gone moment. Like, are you being that person regardless of who's standing across from you, who's behind you in the grocery line, who's 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 trimming your toenails, right? Like,
Yes. That.
right?
Yeah.
Because they're people too. Like, I 15 years ago, seriously, she had to have been 18 years old, maybe. She doesn't look like she's that old. But holy cow, right? Like, it just, like, my heart like exploded. I just was like, oh, I'm so humbled and I'm so honored. And I'm so like, I just want to know what I said to her. Right? Like, I want to know. And like, I don't even know if she's still in the area. I don't know if that pedicure was here. Right? Like, I don't even know. I traveled so much. Even 15 years ago, I traveled a lot. Like, where was it?
Well, we'll have to find out.
I know. I messaged her back and I was like, oh my gosh, what a great message to wake up to this morning, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll keep that conversation going. Hey, good morning, Cheryl. I see you're on here. Yeah, you didn't get a notice from me because clearly I set this up not as a Monday morning show. I thought it was Tuesday. And
Oh no.
all of my days are just running it together. That means I get to slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And I confident I didn't get the bot hooked up to give you that notice this morning, Cheryl. My bad. Thanks for being here, though. It's good to see you.
No, that's how I found it. Was on the bot. So
Oh, huh.
yeah.
Maybe I did do it then.
Yeah.
Do you ever have days like that where you go, did I do that?
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially having three kids, it's just I'm like, okay, I think we're on this day, and it's keeping track of schedules is so difficult. It's sports and everything else, and then my work. I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm holding it together.
Yeah. Cheryl's like, okay, I resemble that. Thank you. Yeah. So, staying on that topic of trying to keep it together
Yeah.
and keeping on top and keeping in front and still feeling, one of my big things, and I've talked about this before, one of my big hangups is that I still want to be that wife and that mom, and I still want to show up for dinner, and dinner at our house is like that sacred, like, one time. Cheryl's going to relate to this,
Yeah.
that it's like a non-negotiable in my house. Like, I don't care what's going on, we all have dinner together. The phones aren't at the table, right? Nobody's phones are at the table. You don't get up to answer a text message or a phone call. They can wait, whoever it is. And we at least have like a half an hour to sit down and talk and connect with each other and, have dinner. And I was really feeling like, I'm like, yeah, okay, so I really am pretty tight in my head about what I put on my table and in front of my family as far as um, being healthier, and the meat choices that we make. We harvest our own meat. I like to try to live off the land as much as possible. I don't buy red meat. I don't buy chicken. Those things. I don't buy processed food. But man, let me tell you, Jen Weatherly, I was having way too many freezer meals, you know, the pizza pockets and the French fries and the frozen pizzas.
Yep. Because
And
what do you do, right? Like, how can you possibly keep up with it? Because it's hard without a partner,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And I had a lady on my show about a month ago, Carrie Martin. She's from the Kitchen Transformation. She owns that. She she's so sweet. She used to be a personal chef for people. She used to be on their great big yachts and in their big fancy $1 million homes and doing dinner parties and and she's just this nice, sweet, calm, and fabulous personality. And I loved what she had on the show. I loved our pre-conversation. I loved our post-conversation. And so I hired her. I hired her to do a meal plan for me based on our family and our family's needs and our wants and our likes and our dislikes. And she's like, I'm like, I can easily go pull recipes off of the internet all day long. I said, but then I got to alter it because it's not dairy free. It's not gluten free. It's got peppers in it, like, or mushrooms or tomatoes. Like, I like those things, but my family doesn't like those things.
Oh, okay.
So, right?
Yeah.
Like, and just that balance of that, figuring out the diet and figuring out okay, well, you can substitute. Well, if it calls for heavy whipping cream, I ain't doing that. One,
Yeah.
because of the calories, two, because of the dairy.
Yeah. Me too.
So what do you substitute for heavy whipping cream?
I don't know.
You want to know what you substitute?
Yeah, I do. Like,
Almond or coconut milk
yeah.
with a little canola oil, and you combine it.
Okay.
Little pro tip from my new chef friend.
Okay.
Yeah, but she had this massive questionnaire for me. She had I had an in-depth conversation after I submitted my questionnaire that was like, I don't even know how many questions, but it was all about how our family eats and what my time restraints are and how much time I want to put into cooking for my family and our activities that are already on our schedule. And okay, well, school gets out here, my husband gets home from here, my office stops here, swim training starts here, archery starts here, right? Like all of the things. Well, then we have, and then board meetings and then travel and right, like all of the things that your family does. It's like struggle bus for Erin.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm telling you what, like she took all of my answers and kicked them into a week long. Okay, I shop on Fridays because I don't work on Fridays. That's my day to go do my hair, go get my pedicures, and do my grocery shopping, right? Like Friday is my day to do what I want to do. I don't do appointments on Fridays. So I told her, I said, Thursday night's my prep night. Friday is my shopping day. And then like my week starts. So guess what she did? That's how she set it up. Day one is not Monday. Day one is Saturday for our family. And she made it so that those meals, if we're up at our property, are easily transported or made ahead of time to go up there and already be ready to stick in the crock pot or throw in the oven or yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. And like it's not weird ingredients or stuff that I don't already have. Right? Like I so love the effort and seriously, I bought a month plan. So I'll end up with 4 weeks of planned out meals with shopping lists with, hey, this is how you're going to prep it. This is the day you're going to start. This is what you can do to do it ahead of time. You can put this in the freezer. You can,
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it's all laid out. And I'm like, oh my living, thank you. Thank you for making it so easy. And none of them take more than 15 or 20 minutes to put together.
Oh, jeez. That's
Mhm,
beautiful. Like that's a
mhm.
beautiful thing, isn't it?
Like the stress that just went off of me, like crazy. Like just gone, oh, I got a plan.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It's all about the plan. That's what I'm just realizing. Even if it's just the food or, the schedule or, and if the plan is good, then you can just like take that extra load of stress and just throw it away. I love that you have that plan. I think I need one.
Yeah, Carrie Martin. I'm telling you what, I'll put her link in here when we're done. Yeah, it's Kitchen Life Transformations is the name of her business, and delightful. Like I've enjoyed every single minute of dealing with her. And she's like, "Hey, loop around to me halfway through your week. What do you like? What do you don't like? What worked? Did you like the names of the what's on your menu this week? Did you have problems at the grocery store? Is there anything you can't find?"
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because some grocery stores don't have it depends. Yeah. Some
Yeah.
people really have to search for one ingredient. Yeah.
And for me it's like I'm not a multiple grocery store hopper.
Yeah.
I'm just not because I don't have time.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Grocery shopping ranks right up there with some other household duties that I don't like to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So what else is going on with you? What's going on in your world?
Do I tell you? I bought some bugs.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Okay. What's important to me right now is just having that like mainstay income. So Jess Rosen really truly inspired me with her. She breeds cockroaches, and her systems uh, are really providing her with a very good income, but also a scalable business. So I was very inspired by this because I do love breeding, and even if it's dogs or plants, I'm like, okay, I can take on some bugs. I don't mind bugs, and so I got my shipment on Friday, and the kids are just enthralled with them. And all I have is just this plastic bin with all of my super worms in there, and just this notion of being able to breed them and start bringing in that regular planned income makes me so happy. So it's just a different thing from being, the entrepreneur thing where you're, always trying to get new clients to, going to a product based business where now I'm just going to go find my people that I just give these to and they buy them from me, meeting supply and demand. And it's a different kind of it really is a different kind of business model. So
Yeah. So cool. So you got your shipment, you got them in, you got them set up.
yeah, and it was so easy. I just feed them once a day, and they're happy little dudes. I like them.
That's cool. That's cool. Not like they're worms, so they don't have legs.
These ones do. They have front legs, but they don't climb. They can sort of get up so only so far because they don't stick. So uh, yeah, and I'm gonna start breeding them this week. So or
So cool.
changing them to beetles and then breeding them, I guess. But yeah, I can just see how easy the system is now. It's just like, oh, this is easy. I can do this.
Neat.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah, because what an amazing um another stream of income.
Yes, yes. That is what I'm really looking forward to. And then my husband's really creeped out by this whole thing. Like he's just like, Jen, you have bugs in your bathroom, and I'm just like, yeah, I know. And he's just like everything that he thinks could possibly go wrong here, like bugs all over the house, which isn't going to happen, and that they'll smell, and they don't. So I'm like, okay, well then let's take this part of the basement, and we're gonna put them here and make some bucks, and then I'm trying to now work in like if we can plan out the income over a certain period of time, then we know what we're going to make from this. And he's just like, oh, that's really really smart. And I'm like, yes. I hang out with people like Jess Rosen right now, and the illustrious ones, and brilliant ideas spread. And maybe it's not bugs. Like in Canada, we can't have what Jess has, which is the cockroaches. They're illegal.
Right.
So I just had to. She helped me find something that would work in Canada, but in America, it's different. Um, not so many illegal things. Canada's just locked down, and two totally different countries, and we're connected by huge boundaries here. So
Right.
it's interesting. I'm a little bit freaked out because it's one of those things you have to scale, and then you have a lot. What do you do with them? Suppliers and shipping. So I have to figure all of these things out, but it's cool and fun at the same time.
Yeah, and it makes your brain work in another way. And Jess's whole thing is to make our society more self-sustainable. And yeah,
Yes, I love her plan. Her long term plan, get this, everybody, is for moving into human consumption, bugs for human consumption. Because I know.
we're the only country in the world that doesn't support that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
The US is. Hmm.
I saw crickets in our grocery store, and I know it's it's probably one of the early adopters that would be getting into something like that. I've never tried them. Uh, but they are a big source of protein. So, and for sustainability, it's probably going to happen within, she was saying what, in
I,
2000,
I think it's less than 10 years.
less than 10 years that we would have to have bugs in our diet as powder or whatever
Hmm.
uh, to sustain our population.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the thing about it is they're so high protein
Mhm.
and there's so little waste. And that's the problem with cattle, right? That's the problem with pork. That's the problem with chickens even. Like let's just go from the biggest to the little,
Yeah.
right? The problem is there's there's so much waste that goes into our biosphere, that goes into all of our water system, that goes into our ground source, that goes into everywhere. And the problem is that it's not sustainable. Like the way that it's growing now is not sustainable for long term. Like she has all the stats on it, and it blows your mind how quickly, if something isn't done, how our way of existing currently is not going to pan out.
Yeah. And I mean, I think because it still works. We're not aware of it. However, it's coming. So the quicker we understand how to even breed our own bugs for food. Oh my God! Like, could you imagine just having your own colony just to feed your own family? No,
Right.
people aren't really thinking like that right now. So, yeah, I mean, we may come to that in our lifetime where we have our little plastic bins full of well, in the United States, it would be, maybe some crickets or whatever it happens to be. And that would be what sustains the family. Like, putting it in muffins and breads and different things, maybe not your main meals, but the sustainable proteins. Yeah, and it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
there already is, available like those protein powders that already have that product in it, right? Like and so many other countries and high level athletes and I mean a lot of athletes even here in the US are currently on those kind of regiments for their training. They don't publicly talk about it, but if you ask them, they admit it. And, um,
Each
yeah,
one of
because
those bugs in there is 20% protein. It's just like,
yeah,
oh, really?
yeah, yeah. And you think already, it's like, okay, well, jerky's dehydrated meat.
Mhm.
And then you take that and you dehydrate your meat and then you can either eat that like that or you can take it and now it's sustainable, right? Like it's already cured and it's already sustainable and you can put it in all
Yeah.
kinds of things, right? And you can rehydrate it. Whatever. Cheryl, we already have 3 dogs, 3 cats, 21 birds, fresh, fresh and saltwater aquariums, a terrarium, and 2 turtles. We might as well have some bugs.
Right.
She's
It's
got a
gonna
zoo.
happen.
She needs some flamingos, and I can attest to the dogs and cats and birds. I didn't know she had turtles too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And quite honestly, when you think about it, it's just a bin.
Oh,
It's not like it takes up space. It's
nope.
not like you don't already have bins in your house filled with stuff.
Yep, that's exactly it. It's just a drawer bin, and there's lots of air coming in and out, and I just give them one potato or an apple a day. Um,
Really? Do you cut it up for them?
yes, of course I do. Gotta feed them, and then you just pull out the old stuff, and it's just a bed of bran, wheat bran, or yeah,
Oh, cool.
like it's just so simple. And yeah, I'm not going to eat these bugs. I'm selling them for, reptiles to eat. But even my babysitter came over, and I'm like, "Okay, look, this is what's going on." And she's like, "Oh, cool. We have a bearded dragon, and we buy these like all the time for our bearded dragon." I was like, "Man, right there.
There it
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
Right. I know. I know. It's funny because I was thinking about it the other day too. And my son's buddy has a bearded dragon. And, he talks about what he feeds it all the time. And I'm like, huh,
Yeah.
that's just a block down the road.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yes.
nuts. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess the opportunities that are there, if we're going for not only sustainable income, but alternate forms of income
Yeah.
and things um that don't take up a ton of time,
Yeah.
and they don't take up a ton of space, and
Yeah.
they don't require a huge investment,
No.
you know? I mean, if you think about it, like what you've already put into your business so far to get your whatever you do now
Yeah.
off the ground and going, compared to what you just spent for a bin of bugs, and you don't have to lay it out here. But right, like it's the turnaround on the ROI on your investment is like crazy.
It is. And what Jess said in one of our messages back and forth, she's like, okay, there's two things that make people not do well at this. It's number one, they just don't like breeding bugs. Like that just creeps them the heck out. And they're just like, I don't really get it. And I'm not good at taking care of things. That's not really my case. So, and then the other one that she pointed out was that you have to plan and stick to a plan and how that breeding cycle actually works. So it takes a kind of, well, and I'm going to be following her plan. I'm going to be purchasing her coaching for this specific product. But when I get there and I get my colony kind of worked up, which is easy to do, then I go in and get coaching so I know how to scale it.
Right.
Because that plan put in place is where you become successful. So you need a couple factors to come together, but for a person that kind of is already liking growing things and can follow a plan, maybe that is it's interesting, and it's scaring the shit out of me at the same time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but
mm,
it's fun to think about it, because honestly, that could be your kid's college fund, right? Like,
it could be the renovation to my basement. It could be paying off my second car, which I am looking at getting right now. And I'm like, well, I really just prefer to pay for this outright. That's where I'm at now.
right.
How do I do that? And, this is what I'm hoping for. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Very, very exciting and very cool and very, and that's the key thing, just like Jess said, that's like either, you fail because you don't like bugs
Yep. And you kill them all.
and you kill them.
Yeah. Maybe you suck at this. Just let it go.
I live transplant all of the bugs in my house. Like,
Yeah,
the cup with the paper under it, move it outside, let it go.
that's what I
Catch
do.
it in my hand, let it outside. I don't know. We had moths in our house that came, we had wood in and out all the time from our house. And, We always are this time of year in the wood pile, and we had this great big moth in our house, and and I'm like, hang on, I'll get it. Grabbed it, caught it with my hand, take it outside, just let it go. Bye bye, buddy. You know what I mean? And Jim's like, oh, and I'm like, no, no, because I
Yeah.
have a rule in my house: if you kill it, you eat it.
Oh God, yeah, I know. They them like little Mary Poppins because I'll be running around chasing this thing and making sure it doesn't die. And it's just, it is a rule here too. So my
Yeah,
daughter is really, really great with insects and always has been. So this is kind of like one of those things that my kids can help me with. It's fun. And
yeah,
the whole life cycle thing, I mean, it's just a big science project,
I
really.
love it, and it's a massive learning thing, and um, I love that. Like, I would have absolutely have Hudson involved in it if we brought that into our home as well, and um, it is a huge learning thing for them, and it's a great science project, and it's a great um, even for them to chart it and to watch them and to count them and to keep track of them and figure out the sizes of them, right? Like all of that.
Hmm.
So cool.
So cool.
Congratulations. That's cool. We'll want updates on that every now and then.
If I've killed the colony, I just won't talk about it anymore.
That's probably pretty hard to do though.
Yeah, you have to like, I don't know, not feed them or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. So what else? Let's you want to talk about some of the cool things? I know we talked about them last week, but I want to talk about them again. Some of the
Okay.
cool updates that are coming with our collective and the directory
Well, I've
and the
been
short list.
in the back end because we're trying to tidy up how people would find everyone in the directory. So I've been changing things, and so it maybe if you click on one link right now, it may take you nowhere. But I'll have that all fixed by the end of today. But refining everything and really just making it very clear has been very good. And as soon as we get that all finished, I'll let everybody know this is what's up. But yeah, no, just the business titles, making sure that everybody fits into a business title the way they should. For exactly what they do to make sure that when they do show up, I even text Cheryl. I'm like, what category do I put you in? Because I was unsure. Because well, Cheryl has got a product, but also a coaching kind of edge to everything. So we kind of created a product category. And of course, if you're not finding a category that you fit into, then we create one. It's just that simple because we can do that.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about that. And I love a lot of the changes that we've decided on that are coming forward, and a lot of the things that the collective is going to have in it. And I love that we've decided to cap the short list, right? And but then make the collective. Do they know about this yet? Do they
I,
know that we're
I don't know. Maybe if we can talk about it. Yeah, the new membership is going to be called the Collective, and then we do have a short list for our members, so they can have a full page ad, or I guess call it a listing. And the Collective and the short list still fall on the same page when you're searching somebody. It's just the ones that are on the short list will be featured, and then you can follow them right and see all of their information. The collective gives you the opportunity to just show up under a search category that is most defined for your business, and that way you're there, you're in the space, and it also gives you the ability to add on things like showing up on the Monday morning show, getting a slot. To be featured in on our monthly newsletter, and there's a few other things, and we just wanted to make it more of a round table, and that you do get the opportunities that the people on shortlist get, and and there's lots of different things that we're kind of thinking about, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, really kind of fun, so it's inclusive instead of exclusive.
Yeah.
And that really came forward for us in our last few conversations and with some other people and some, we've been conversating with, some strategists about moving forward, and that repeatedly came forward that we are inclusive. So how do we allow people that opportunity to still be inclusive but yet have some exclusivity with the short list? And how do we combine both of those things? And what's rolled forward is that it's a tiered option. So the short list is kind of those that have rose to the top and say, yep, I want the full page listing, and that includes this whole thing, right?
Mhm.
Like it's like this whole thing.
Yeah.
And but yet, if you don't want to be on the whole thing just yet, or that doesn't fit into your wheelhouse, but you want to be part of the listing and the grouping and the collective, then there's an opportunity for you there too. So it's kind of cool. It's really cool. It's
It is.
exciting.
It is exciting. Rolling it out is it takes a lot of work, so bear with me. I'm always doing
Yeah.
things, but
Yeah, and one thing that I was thinking about too, Jen, is that I love that we had the idea, we were gun ho, we still gun ho, we're still moving forward, we're making strides, but we're making smart decisions,
yeah,
and we're really thinking about the decisions that we do make and the timing of the decisions, and um in the right place in the right time with the right people. Um, and there's something to be said for that, I think, that for us to continue to stand in that space and holding that space, I think I don't know. I just really think that that's so beneficial for us as a group to just not hip shot decisions and answers and changes and going forward.
yeah. No, I always tread carefully whatever I do because I love being aware of what's happening, and in some cases that hasn't been the case. Um, but in this case, I'm very, very aware of. Each step that we do move forward, it's very purposeful, and it has meaning. So, and also there's a lot of people involved, so it has to have meaning for them as well. So,
Mhm.
yeah, we like to make sure that those questions go out to our tribe, and we like to hear the feedback that comes from being in a group, that in a collective where your opinion does matter, and we take it all in, and we use that information. Even the questions to get into the group, we use that information because it's important to you. Like there's just so many important things that people need right now, and they're so similar.
Yeah.
Um, so that's information that we definitely love using.
Yeah. Yeah. And people get a little cranky. You mentioned the gallery questions to come into the group, and why those are, what I mean? Those are there on purpose. Um, yes, it's information gathering. Yes, it's to make sure that our space lines up with what you're doing,
Yeah.
right? Yes, it's to make sure that, we're going to provide you with what you need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of reasons for that. And like so many of the people that I've, allowed in, like immediately I messaged them, hey, there's already resources in the group. Reach out to this person for the things that you're already concerned about. Right?
Oh, okay.
Right? Like there are already resources for you waiting
That's
inside the group.
I didn't know you were doing that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And specifically with when I know that there's a specific person that can help them
Yeah.
inside the group, which is so beneficial. And that's part of the collective. That's part of knowing the people in the group. That's part of reaching out and being active and responding to people and putting your 2 cents in, and really partaking in those conversations, not only when you offer information, but then when you are looking for information and tapping resources inside of there, is
Yeah.
to really be grateful and gracious, giving as well as receiving. So then, you and I see that, and we know that you're a resource for these new people coming in, right? Like, bam, hey, reach out to this person or this person. I think they can really help you. They're already inside the group.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? That's the same thing. Like the group is there to like really support each other. So if you need somebody for something, say,
Mhm.
hey, I need help with this. And you will
Yeah.
see so many people pop up to say, hey, or this person. And that is a lot of what the collective is truly about. It's connecting to create that next thing, it's that joint venture, it's the collaboration. That is the most important thing because together you just create something so much better.
Yeah.
And that's really, I think, what this is all about. And we can always just sort of search for new people, and the directory is definitely there for that function. But the connections that you make are really, really, oh my gosh, fortuitous, aren't they? They're there to really enhance life, your business, and make it something like even your meals. Your life has been enhanced from connecting with this woman, and I know it has because you're like,
Yeah.
oh, what I'm making for dinner, and the food is actually downstairs for it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, and that right now at, not even 10 o'clock in the morning is such a relief for me. And I don't have to stress about it all day. Like, do I have to go to the grocery store to get a stupid ingredient that I don't have in the house? Right? Like,
yeah,
no, because I already shopped for it because I was given the shopping list
yes,
with
yeah.
check boxes. Just check, 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 check. Gone. Got it. Got it. Got it.
I know, right? Yeah, and like I've just connected with a social media manager, and like she keeps giving me proofs, and I'm like, this is so awesome.
So good.
I don't have to
It's
do
so
that.
good when we make connections and strives in our personal life. It just rolls forward into everything that we do, and those joint ventureships are spectacular when that happens, and then it's a positive, right? So look what just happened. We just talked about like four people this morning that
Yeah,
didn't even know we were going to talk about them,
no,
had
no.
no idea, right? And that's how it is. It's like I'd rather have word of mouth than have to go and advertise to find people that might be a good fit for me.
Oh yeah, right. And that's what the illustrious is really about. So for me, it's all just so good and juicy, great connections, and that is the purpose, right?
I know. I love it so much. I love it so much. All right, Jen Weatherly, anything else on your docket this morning that we get to talk about?
Nope. Nope, that's pretty much it. I think we just had a good little chat, but I know that it was productive in so many ways. So,
So many ways.
yeah.
Yeah, so many ways. You guys, thanks for being with us here this morning. Those of you that were with us, if you're watching the replay, we totally acknowledge and appreciate you. Let us know that you're watching the replay. If you want part of the illustrious ones, the short list, the collective, any part of it, let us know. We'll drop some links in here for you so you can just click and go check it out. What else, Jen Weatherly? The group is always available.
Oh yeah, the group. And you know what? Utilize the group for what you need because if you're needing something right now, just give a shout out. We want
Mhm.
you.
Yes. Yes, and I love it. And we're here for you, and that's what we're all about. We're all about uplifting you guys and making sure that those things that are important to you continue to be important to you. So whatever that looks like dinner,
Yeah, dinner.
like college funds, like butterfly gardens, and right,
Yeah.
like all the things that are important to you that you get to do. Meditation, starting
Yeah.
your routine back out. Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, have a fantastic week, Jen Weatherly. Everybody else have a fantastic week. Let us know how we can serve you.
Yeah. Let us know.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.